Hook Predator Origins Explored. Writer Jeremy Barlow is inevitably famous for his work within the Star Wars series. However, with Alien vs. Predator, Thicker Than Blood, Barlow turned things around while marking his first entry into the Alien and Predator expanded universe. Initially meant to be a 4-issue limited series, only 2 of the single issues saw the light of day, making it Dark Horse Comics' very last Alien vs. Predator series. Well, this brings us to the main contents of today's video, where we will explore the character Hook from the series and look at the comics too. It will be a fascinating, in-depth character analysis, so we suggest you stay tuned until the end of this video. Are you ready? Let's dive right into the video then. But before we go into our explanation, we do have one very small request. If you enjoy our content, then please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Now let's begin. Who is Hook? For a better understanding of this character, one that happens to be a disgraced Yautja elder who was expelled from his Predator clan for reasons that have not been cited, we will be delving deeper into the storyline of Alien vs. Predator, Thicker Than Blood. But before we do that, some digging into the character led us to discover that Hook had taken his son Splitter and Pig Iron to a nearby planet in order to make them go through the blooding ritual. Now, to those of you who need to brush up on this particular Predator terminology, blooding is a sign that states the Yautja is capable of hunting alone and not under the supervision of superiors anymore. The Predators had already captured a Xenomorph by then, but suddenly, they noticed the private luxury starliner USSC Double Down entering their territory. This has them raiding the charter spaceship to invade their sector of space, while the intention of mercilessly butchering the passengers. What follows next will be unraveled to you as we simultaneously go through the pages of the comic series. Terror aboard the Double Down. The storyline begins with Tyler Ward, a synthetic child, contacted by Lydia Ward, the captain of the luxury starliner, asking him whereabouts of her daughter Maria. We learn that Tyler was created for Maria with the sole purpose of serving himself as a playmate to Maria when she was a child. Tyler, who usually addresses Lydia as his mother, tells her that Maria is on the artificial beach Lido deck. Lydia tells Tyler to retrieve his sister, take her to the ship's escape shuttle tender to ensure she is safe there, and then meet them in the forward lounge. With Tyler asking Lydia what's wrong, Lydia is only able to say that something got on board the ship before the line gets disconnected. Tyler finds Maria relaxing on the Lido deck and tells her quickly to get dressed, much to the latter's annoyance. The duo's conversation shows that Maria has clearly outgrown Tyler and currently finds his company annoying. With the emergency lights activated, Tyler is seen asking all the passengers to head back to their rooms, while Maria starts dressing up in the clothes that Tyler brought for her. Suddenly, Splitter appears on the beach out of nowhere and begins to rip the civilians to shreds one after the other, using his plasma whip. The pseudo-siblings barely make it out of there alive using the service lift. Maria forcibly gets information out of Tyler about her parents' location, and together, they make their way to the forward lounge, where they unite with their parents. Their meeting is brief, however, as Hook, who has been stalking Lydia and her husband all this time, emerges from the shadows and brutally decapitates the father using his double wrist blades. Lydia shocks Hook with a stun baton to provide her children enough time to board the elevator. She is tearfully seen stating that she loves her children and also tells them not to be afraid and to stay together when Hook grabs her by her face and kills her. With the Predator next seen jamming his arm and leg into the elevator door to open it, the siblings work together and are successful in severing the limbs of Hook by closing the door. Tyler opens the lift to another floor, and they are able to get out of the elevator. After a brief argument, which has Tyler forcibly restraining Maria when she tells him that she wants to find her friends, instead of going to the tender, she apologizes to Tyler for calling him a heartless piece of plastic and blaming him for killing her parents. As they make their way to the tender's airlock, they find it blocked behind the Predator ship's boarding ramp. Tyler and Maria eventually decide to sneak aboard the mothership so as to look for a way to remove the gangway. More horror in store. The plan is to find the command system of the Predator ship so that Tyler can port in. As they enter the unknown ship, Tyler is amazed to find different high-technology weapons stacked on one side of the wall. Maria does not have a good feeling about this. Honestly, she looks pretty scared. Tyler tells her he will not let anything happen to her, reminding her that he is programmed to save her. Their conversation abruptly pauses upon hearing a terrifying noise, and they find Pig Iron sadistically tormenting the captive Xenomorph with his wrist-mounted flamethrower. Utilizing Pig Iron's preoccupation with the alien as an opportunity, the children go to the mothership's deck, where Tyler tries to access the controls, but this only results in him getting electrocuted. He lets out a scream in pain, which has the predator alerted. With Pig Iron distracted and turning his back on the alien, the shackled Xenomorph pounces and ferociously kills him. The alien frees itself after this and goes to double down to wreak further havoc. Coming back to Tyler, it dawns upon him that the only way they will be able to access the mothership is if they can get out of the arms of the predators. They decide to use pig irons, but he has been slaughtered beyond recognition, so they eventually decide to use Hook's arm from the elevator. While all this is happening, Splitter finds his father heavily mutated, but still alive, and suspended in the jammed elevator. Splitter uses his plasma whip to amputate and seal Hook's mangled limbs, leaving him without an arm and leg. Tyler and Maria leave the Predator ship, bump into Lieutenant Denver, and learn of the latter's plans of blasting his way through to the tender using explosives from the Geolab. The kids return to the lift only to find Hook missing from there. Upon opening the lift door to the forward lounge, they find Splitter engaged in an intense battle with the Xenomorph. Maria suggests leaving immediately, but Tyler realizes that the alien will overpower both the predators and then come after them. He tells Maria about his plan, and we find the duo dragging Hook's unconscious body out of the lounge into the service lift. The Xenomorph, on the other hand, is easily able to defeat Splitter by decapitating him. Making peace with Hook, Maria and Tyler take Hook to the Lido deck and try to keep him awake, poking him with shock prods and constantly pushing him under the artificial beach water. Amongst the duo, Maria does the talking and makes a deal with Hook. She and Tyler will help Hook kill the alien, and in return, Hook will unblock the way to the tender and depart afterwards, each going their separate ways. However, with Hook being exceedingly groggy and Maria having had enough of his hostility, she plans to drown the predator and cut off his arm. While searching for a knife in the bar, Maria learns from Tyler that his memory drives are full, making him malfunction, and as a result, Lydia put him on the aftermarket. Maria cannot believe her ears, because she always believed her mother loved Tyler more than her. It is only fitting to say that Maria reconciled her differences with Tyler when the whole realization of him always having been there by her side as a brother, playmate, and most importantly, as someone who raised her dawned upon her. Both are seen hugging each other when Hook appears behind them and finally offers the duo a truce to kill the creature and then allow the children access to the tender. The trio is seen going to the med center, where Maria attaches a prosthetic leg to Hook. With the thought of Lieutenant Denver accessing bombs from the Geolab crossing Tyler's mind, he tells Maria that it isn't such a bad idea at the end of the day. The trio reaches the Geolab to find him massacred and the Xenomorph chasing Denver's parrot all around. Tyler decides to go inside the lab to locate the bombs and the trigger, but upon reaching the locker, he discovers it is empty. In the meantime, the alien sees Maria and Hook and lunges at them. Tyler is swift enough to shoot the Xenomorph with a harpoon gun, and it becomes pretty clear that he would rather die than let anything happen to his sister. Well, that is precisely what happens when he chooses to sacrifice himself to let Hook and an unwilling Maria escape from there. The alien ruthlessly rips Tyler to shreds. The final battle. The alien quickly catches up with Maria and Hook and savagely attacks them. Hook pushes Maria out of the way and engages in a vicious battle with the feral creature. Hook, despite his injuries, goes on brutally fighting like a badass. In the meantime, Maria is able to retrieve the wrist-mounted flamethrower of Pig Iron and the plasma whip of Splitter, and she brings them both to the battle scene. She uses the flamethrower on the alien and throws the whip at Hook, who ends up splitting the Xenomorph's head in two, finally killing it. As for Maria, she passes out, and when she regains her conscience, she finds herself at the entrance to the tender. This shows Hook stayed true to the end of the deal, and add to this, he also retrieved Tyler's mangled body and handed it to Maria. The gesture has Maria thanking Hook and boarding the tender, while Hook is also seen parting ways. Maria has Tyler repaired to an extent inside the shuttle and put into stasis. With only 2 weeks to the nearest safe harbor, Maria is seen reminiscing on her reinvigorated love and appreciation for Tyler. Personality of Hook. While we don't know what it is that actually led Hook to get exiled from his Predator clan, but he became absolutely merciless after that. Also, please know that Hook was not a bad blood, so there should not be any confusion regarding this. There is a possibility that Hook accepted banishment to avoid the moniker, or maybe his status as an elder, but these are all theories at the end of the day. Anyway, when Hook chanced upon the luxury starship trespassing through their space sector, he thought it was more than okay to slaughter all the inhabitants inside despite the total lack of threat that the humans possessed. It was not until he had lost his limbs, and let's not disregard his sons here as well, that he made up his mind to redeem whatever bit of honor he still had left in him. This made him strike up a deal with Maria and Tyler to help them kill the alien and give them access to the tender. The fight between Hook and the Xenomorph was brutal, but Hook ended up killing the creature and keeping up his side of the deal. Marvelous verdict. Well, that is all for today. And with this, we finally come to the end of our video here. How did you find Hook? We would love to know your thoughts in the comments section below. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up. Also, stay tuned with us, as we promise to come back with more exciting content. Till then, goodbye, and thanks for watching. Have a nice one.